everyone. Welcome to Idea Dream Home Season 2. As you know, we are here to find Kerala's most beautiful home yet again. We've already done 12 beautiful homes and we are continuing the journey today. Before we get on with the job at hand, once again, let me introduce our jury panel to you. We're joined by architect and interior designer Ruben Koshi. He completed his course in architecture from the College of Engineering in 1994 and ever since has been practicing and has his own firm in Trivandrum called Studio 5. Today, Ruben is joined by two new faces here on Idea Dream Home, both respectively experienced in the field of architecture and interior design. It's my pleasure to welcome to the show architect Jeff Anthony. He completed his course in architecture from the College of Engineering in Trivandrum in 1977, following which he went off to East Africa and practiced there for over 6 years. He then decided to get back to his hometown, Thrissur, where he started up his firm in architecture called Atulya Architects and Associates. And in fact, that was in 1985, if I'm right. That's completing 25 years next year. So congratulations on that. You've made it so far and welcome to the show, Jeff. The men are joined by a beautiful lady. She completed her course in interior design from Mangalore. That is interior designer Veena Menon. She's been practicing ever since and is a freelancer. She has several projects happening in and out of Kerala. Welcome, Veena, to the show. Okay, so Thodangam. It's a new experience for both of you, but I'm sure Ruben will guide you through the whole process today. And after that, you'll be finding it very easy. We always ask this one question in the beginning of the show. You know, judgment. I'm sure our viewers would like to know on various aspects of architecture and interior design so they can get some tips. So today my question is on lighting. How important is paying attention to lighting when you're building a house? How do you go about it? Ruben?
Lighting is a very important factor in houses, flats, in any building for that matter. And I will talk about the natural lighting part, and it would be ideal to have natural light coming into your house or flat till there is light outside. Okay? And then you would want to switch on to your artificial lights.
It saves on so much.
It saves on power too, yeah. So natural light can come in through basically windows, doors, openings on the wall, other openings on the walls, openings on the ceilings, internal courtyards. There are many ways you can bring in lighting. And for anybody, it would be very important to have as much lighting in your house as possible, because lighting always combines with ventilation too. If you open the window, you get wind too.
Yes.
So another thing about the artificial lighting is the quality of light. You have warm lighting, which is very different from a tube light. So personally, I like to have warm lighting in my interiors too. All right.
What about you, Mr. Chair?
Yes, I think artificial light, it started with incandescent lamps in the beginning. Then we all had tubular fittings in all our rooms. Then the CFL revolution happened. Then right now, lighting has become a very specialized field. We have many consultants only designing lighting.
So many varieties.
So they concentrate on mood lighting, up lighting, task lighting, spot lighting, and many new innovations in lighting.
Okay. And just a question there, when you're doing up a place where lighting is concerned, does the architect or the interior designer plays more of a role, or the architect? Does the architect have a say?
Of course, because the house is designed by the architect, so all the openings, etc. are already fixed. So then the role of the interior design, maybe he prepares the basic electrical drawing. Then of course the interior designer plays a role in actually mood lighting.
Selecting the light.
Many parts of the house.
All right.
Mood lighting as well as the furniture which you are placing in and around the area. To highlight a particular area, you need special light. That is, if you are putting a picture, you need the picture light. If you are concentrating one spot, you need pin light. And on the dining area, you need the dining area's light. So otherwise, if you are giving the general lighting, it will be flat.
Okay.
So that's the main thing. You can create change the ambience with the lights. You can create a special mood with the lights.
Okay, but definitely lighting is a very important aspect in making a home more beautiful. I'm sure, all the houses we've seen the effect and impact it has. So time for us to check out our first home for today. In fact, the only home for today, our 13th home in the list, if I'm right. Kasargod Nizam Palace. Have a look, guys.
Well, we have travelled to the northernmost tip of Kerala, to be very precise, Manjeshuram in Kasargod. In the Mr. Moideen Haji's Nizam Palace. We have got a very grand entrance, this whole wall treated with stone and these huge handles, I love these handles. And we are inside, this is a very spacious foyer space, and overlooking that is this particular courtyard treated very beautifully with that stone textured wall, pinatara pebbles, grass, side chediyalum, ellam kuda it's a very nice composition. Well, we have staircase going to the top floor. We'll check that out later. But first, this space is a family living area, and the walls have been interestingly treated with these wooden battens. Well, we have the living area to the side, very huge opening onto the veranda. And we move on to the dining space. It overlooks the courtyard that we have over there. It's a very simply furnished dining space with some seating on this particular side. Now we move on to the bedroom, and we have a wardrobe unit on this side and the bathroom on the other side. And it's a very simply furnished bedroom with the bed, wardrobe and storage cum seating unit. It's a very simply furnished kitchen. Again, that particular storage unit over there adding some splash of color in this otherwise very simply treated kitchen. So I'm moving up this staircase. I like the railing, the way it's treated, the whole wooden work. And we have a family living space with some seating which is yet to be furnished properly, and I can see 2 bedrooms on my either side, so we'll check this one out. So this is a very nicely furnished bedroom. We have a wooden paneling, a very interesting wooden paneling forming a headboard, and skylights letting in light, that too glass painted. Sir, sir, this video design sir, main requirements are
the main requirement is veranda. Veranda and architect Sharif sir. So I am very family
atmosphere. Okay.
Daylight
Time for the judgment of our home for today, and that's Nizam Palace. Our first parameter is the exterior form of the house, and I'll start with you, Jeff. Nizam Palace and the exterior form.
Yeah, coming to the exterior form and the landscape, I think it is a fairly good traditional house.
Okay.
But there is hardly any landscape is formed. I think it's just completed house. So they are just forming the driveway and landscape, so nothing to comment on that.
Right.
But I think they have some interesting details. The entry, they have clad it with nice stones, and there's a verandas around the dining room and front area with a tiled roof on top. I think they've cut the scale by providing a beam at the lintel level. Okay. Those details looks good. Also the charupati also looks nice.
Was nice. Ruben, to add to that?
Yeah, to add to that, actually the first visuals give a very nice village kind of setting. You know, you have a lot of grown trees in the background. So I think once the landscape and the driveways and that would have been formed, I'm sure it will really enhance the look of the house.
Yes.
But coming to like Jeff was saying, it is a Kerala style house, but they had two gables on top, which looked totally out of place. I mean, it would have been so much more nicer and better if those gables were not there. Then the nice long verandas are a good touch, and I also like the fact that the entrance to the living room is taken a little recessed, so you have a nice pocket and then you enter into the living room. And then the car porch was a tile over truss kind of a roof, so that again gives it a very nice touch. Then the long shot of the house actually showed a very visible water tank right on top. Maybe they should mask that with something, or you know, so it's not so visible. Okay. But other than that, I think it's a cute house.
No complaints, Bina?
Okay, it's a modern structural house, but its Kerala touch is also there.
Yes.
They maintain the charupati and all, and is very well ventilated inside. And the landscape, you can expect a good landscape because it's continued in the inner courtyard.
Yes.
It's very well ventilated. You can communicate with each and every person. It's all rooms are well connected.
Okay.
There is a flow inside the house.
Okay, so from the outside it goes inwards. Okay, which brings us to our second parameter, which is the spatial planning. I'll start with you, Ruben.
Coming to the spatial planning of the house, like you said, or like the hostess in the show said, it is evolved or centered around the courtyard. But I would say in such a situation, the courtyard should have been a little more open, because you had brick structures with glass into the courtyard, which was not necessary. It should have been a little more open, because that is the focus of the house. Then coming to the entrance also, even though they had a nice pocket where the entrance door is, the entrance door is narrow.
Too narrow.
Yeah, it should be much more wider and make it more inviting, you know. Then another thing about the planning is, like, I don't know if you noticed, very next to the entrance door you have the common hand wash. That looks really out of place, because you have a mirror and a wash and a granite. However well you do your wash, it should not be seen by somebody just standing at the door, you know. Then coming to the courtyard also, the planning, internal planning of the courtyard, I think is a little too formal. I mean, you have two neat rows of stone and two, you know, it should have been a little more informal for that matter. But there is plenty of light and ventilation, and even though some of the displays look empty, the display itself
Looks
is an
like
artifact.
an artifact, yeah.
Because it's done very artistically and there's glass and a lot of shapes are happening there. So that itself, I mean, it doesn't look that bad even without anything on it. There's a lot of use of glass, colored glass or glass painting inside. So it gives a very nice and lively touch to the whole house.
Excellent. Bina, how about the spatial planning?
Most of the designs, they formed in the straight line pattern.
Okay.
Even for the headrest and the staircase, or most of the furniture, they have the geometrical designs, but it's in a simple, very elegant pattern. It's in the wood itself. So it has got a own picture like that, but I think the interior walls are, interior is not completed properly. You had to complete the interior designing or the interior structure, pictures or not, no any other artifacts. It's not displayed anything. All the shelves are empty.
So you feel that should have been completed. How about you, Jeff? Space ivide enganeyana?
Yeah, I think I particularly like the color scheme of the house.
Okay.
Especially flooring. Off-white and browns are used very well. It makes the house look very good. And living room, though it looked a little bit narrow, I like the way they integrated the handrail and the shelf. And they followed a scheme of horizontal lines all over the house, including in wardrobes, kitchen and all those things. And I didn't like much that living room furniture, especially the wooden battens provided. It looked like a doctor's waiting room. So they provide battens on to avoid oil staining.
Maybe.
So it looked a little bit
like that.
So, and I think generally it is good. Like Ruben said, that interior courtyard could have been a bit bigger if possible, and that back wall they closed it with stone cladding. I think
it should have been more open.
It should have been more open, but still that the house is well lit and they used in a good glass in a very good manner. Okay. So it's a well lit house. It's that way it is quite good.
All right, which takes us to our third parameter, furniture and furnishings. Bina.
If you light up with more lighting in the night and all, they didn't put any proper light shades and all.
Okay.
Only the bulbs they have put. So you have to concentrate then the painting some pictures and throw away cushions. Everything you had to.
I don't think they've even started living in that house.
No.
Adonda artifacts some art it's missing.
Living area, that's all. As he said, only the waiting room of him. So it won't look like a family living room. That's the thing.
Okay, so that's what you think, Ruben.
Yeah, interiors, I think there is an inconsistency, so to speak, because like they said, the family room, it should be the most comfortable room of the house, but that looks really stiff with your battens and everything. But the living room furniture looked okay, and I like actually the glass use in the house gives some kind of life to the whole house, and because the courtyard and the spaces are open, there is a nice flow. But then another thing, coming to the soft furnishing, we couldn't really see any curtains in the house. Nothing. I mean, that would have, it looked a little bare, the walls looked a little bare. Then even when you come to the furniture, the kitchen design is okay, but I think that green thing which came which came supposed to be like a highlighter kind of a thing, I didn't think it really went with the rest of the house, you know. And then the furniture, the fixed furniture and the cupboards are pretty good, because those battens you saw in the living room came in the other direction for the shutters. So I could see some kind of linking. But then that didn't happen with the bedroom sets, because the ground floor bedroom was a little out of style, whereas the bedroom on top was more simple and tuned with the rest of the house. So there is a little inconsistency in the design of the furniture. But other than that, there is a lot of wood use, so there is warmth generally in the house.
Okay. Jeff?
Yeah, I fully agree Ruben's point of view of kitchen. I think it is well worked out with the contrasting 2-3 shades. It looks very good, except for the storage unit with a splash of color. It looks very, for us, for my taste, it doesn't look good in that. And I think this house is generally not completed, I think. There is on one room looks out of style with a balancing rod. It is like it looks quite odd, I thought. Then generally there's a good use of wood, so the house looks good with the color scheme and wood.
But maybe they should just finish the house.
Other than that, I think there is not much to
all right. Okay, appo nammade last parameter is general aesthetics. Overall, Jeff, endu thonunu ee veedine kurichu?
I think it's okay house with a good decent exterior.
Okay.
And it's not complete interior, so whatever use color schemes and it's good and color scheme, they have to complete the interior.
Yeah.
So I think we cannot judge. We didn't see any toilet in that house. I don't know if it's complete. So I think we cannot judge it properly, but I think it will be a good house.
Nizam Palace and the veedinte score kandathan samayamai. So let's get cracking. Our first category, as you know, is the exterior form and landscape. Adinu vendi out of 25. Jeff, your score?
Yeah, like we have decided to give 15 marks.
15?
Because the landscape is not complete and we have to judge only on the form.
Absolutely.
So it is.
Our second category is spatial planning. Ruben?
Spatial planning, we are giving 16.
Little better, okay. Beena, about the furniture and furnishings.
That is 17.
You've
so
given 17.
Complete.
1 mark higher and higher. So according to statistics, we have to go much higher for general aesthetics. But is that so, Jeff? For general aesthetics?
Yeah, we think it is a promising house. So when it will be completed, it will be much better than as it is. So we give 16 marks. We decided
16. I think for this particular house, the general shortfall was that wasn't fully done. Maybe by next year, when all the landscape is done, you guys can enter back and I'm sure your score will go up. So as of now, the judges have spoken their mind and Nizam's Palace stands at a total of 64. Yeah, which is not bad at all. But the bad bit is that this episode of Idea Dream Home Season 2 is coming to an end. But we promise you that we've got so many more beautiful homes as part of this show. So keep watching. You know the time. Every night at 8 p.m. on your favorite channel, Rose Bowl. Goodbye till we see you again.